Welcome to the tutorial for the mission The Whore and the Priest, pretty much one in-game mission. Here we're gonna skip the cutscene and drive our Falcona back to Salieri's bar, but not just by reversing, but just simply driving forward in order to save some time. Here on the parking lot, park between two cars or a car and a wall, depending on the position of the bolt thrower, and then once you try to exit the car, you're gonna be teleported outside. If this doesn't happen, reverse a little bit to have your door freed and exit normally. It's a tiny time save, but you have to take every time save in a speedrun. So yeah, in this mission there has been some changes as well. It's mainly due to the discovery of the jumping glitch by Jazz that I mentioned in the introductory video and all the control scheme shenanigans afterwards. Then Poke Fazzovate has actually provided a proof of concept that with this glitch we can actually bypass the fail trigger and get to the other side. And simply at the end, WRP Beta has optimized the strat to save even more time. So this is the setup we're going to try here in this case. But besides that, this is the simple route to Lucas Bertone, or at least in parts the same. But you don't want to have cops pretty much chasing you to the hotel. So at some point you have to decide to actually pay attention to the cops. Here at the bridge it doesn't matter, because once you take the U-turn to Lucas Bertone, they are not able to follow you, they are just smacking into the guarding rail. So here the U-turn, and we'll take the shortcut to Lucas Bertone. And then instead of going to Lucas Bertone like we did in Fair Play, we're just going straight on to the Hotel Corleone. And in this mission, like in the previous ones before, you have to have uncapped frame rate, that means 62 to 63 FPS, otherwise the clip won't work and you have to go for all strats. So take a turn right and drive straight on. We have triggered an officer, but it's still far to the hotel, so we will lose him, but you don't want to trigger cops around here. Just smack into the entrance of the hotel, get out. You have the shaded incognito mode, so you can trigger the mission easily. Here you don't have to recheck your control scheme, but just proving that it's set up. We have space set up in the secondaries for jumping. We don't have it binded primary. And in the auto section we have side rolls activated or enabled. So it's going to work. Now just jump up the stairs. One jump is enough, you don't have to jump twice. Otherwise you might climb, which will even lose more time. And now here, get your cold out, crouch, aim at this middle part of the window you can see on the video. So the central part of the window frame, and now just hide the gun and while still crouching do a side roll by pressing right twice. Then release crouching and do another side roll by pressing right twice. And now you pretty much land on this roof, you go to the options and the commands and you rebind jumping to primaries. And pay attention to the movement I'm doing right now. I'm not going too close to the right hand side and shorten it directly because there is a fail trigger and you'll fail the mission if you go that way. On top of that, you don't have to rebind jump to the primaries. You can also just deactivate side rolls in the autre or others options. But I'm not a big fan of that since I like to do side rolls with pressing twice right or twice left. That's why I'm just doing it the way I showed you. Here, just jump around. Jump up those platforms by double jumping, just mash the jump button in case you want to climb basically. And here, just jump like it is shown in the video. But do not fall down, you have to jump down by force, otherwise you will have damage. If you jump down, there is none. Here, try to double jump, if you don't make it, just climb up. Not a big deal. And here as well, either go upstairs or you make it just like I did. And you go to this point where the priest part triggers. Here at the priest part we have 97 HP, so you don't have to worry about your medikit, just get your cold out and be prepared to deal out headshots, since this is the fastest option you can do. There we go. Beware that sometimes you might shoot everything around you and not the persons you want to shoot. Use the rapid fire glitch or similar to reload faster. You can do side rolls obviously as well. Pick up the Colt 1911 from the guy near the altar, shoot this guy from the raised platform, and kill this pretty much last guy. Grab his Colt 1911 as well. Now go back a little bit till the door opens and go back to your spot and just shoot all the guys, especially the pump gunners. Use the rapid fire gun, just spray your ammunition, it's not relevant anymore. And there we go. When you killed 4 guys there, it's done. Now here you might encounter Super Cop that is just waiting for you. In this case it might be smarter to reload. I'm just gonna troll and run behind him because he can't see me from behind, and he turned left, which is great, so I'm able to get into this hearse and drive away. Use the reverse camera strat all the time. At least that's my recommendation in case you want to lose the cops. Unfortunately, I already have 2 cop cars spawned, so I can't do anything about it. But sometimes you just get away with no cop cars here, and you end up losing them around the Giuliano Bridge. So yeah, I'm driving manual gearbox. I would always recommend to drive manual gearbox, especially if you go for those sub 3 times. And this is one of those cars that you might want to use the secondaries if you take this turn, for example. This is a steep turn, but otherwise the cursor keys are fine. Here's second gear driving uphill. Then once you reach the top, you can go to the next gear, adjust the automatic gearbox and drive down. You might even engage the clutch here on your way downhill. You just smack into the wall, brake a little bit, but make sure you don't completely flip to the other side and you're stuck. Besides that, everything is possible. Now we just go down the tunnel, and hopefully we can take the front door at Salieri's bar, but it depends whether or not we get a cop car. And it looks good. So there we go. We lost the cops. We take this turn. And you know the route to Salieri's bar, so nothing I can tell you here. As long as there's no officer, which I don't think there are, we can just smack into the lamppost or the wall, depending what you prefer, get out of the car and trigger the next segment. And that's it, that's the priest. As you can see, due to the hotel skip in the whore, it's actually pretty fast. You don't have a shotgun, so you have to deal out headshots, but it should be easy, and therefore this mission is also doable. So yeah, we'll see each other in the next tutorials.